Good afternoon. I hope everyone's well today. So our MPs have voted through by a sizable margin, I think it's 330 to 275, to help people with end-of-life care if they feel that their pain is too much to continue. Now, I know personally that this is going to be a charged debate and there's going to be pros and cons on either side. I don't think that this should be sanctioned by the state. That's just my opinion. Other opinions are valid, and this is a hot topic, and I don't think there's a clear answer. It's too open to abuse. It's too open to be mitigated at a later point. That won't be by elected politicians. It could be by foreign courts, and it could be by people who have not been elected in. That's one point I'd like to make. Another point I would like to make is that there's been times in my past, personally, where I've gone through rather dark episodes in my life. If I went to a doctor and they suggested what is being put through Parliament today as an option, I can't say hand on heart that I wouldn't have accepted what is on offer. It's already like that in other places in the world, and it's already like that in Canada, for example, where they cite mental health or depression as a valid reason to decide you don't want to continue, shall we say. Gotta be careful because it's YouTube and they're sensitive to certain words and topics. There's also the people in Parliament. People in Parliament have actually made the argument that thinking, rightly or wrongly, that you are a burden on the state should be justification to put something like this through. I think that's a disgrace. I cherish life, and I'm very pro-life in most regards and most respects. Again, that's partially down to my own religious conviction on the matter. It's always going to be the people who are disadvantaged in society. It's always going to be the people that can't afford other options that are going to pay the price for sloppy and ill-thought-out legislation like this. Some legislation going through Parliament could be done with the best intentions. That doesn't give me much comfort, because some of the worst things that are happening in our country are done by the liberal elites that have best intentions. It's always the lowest common denominator, the working class, and the people in my part of society that will pay the ultimate price for sloppy legislation. It's never going to be people that can afford private health care, and it's never going to be people who can travel abroad to get the treatment that they feel that they deserve. Such as Esther Ranson, one of the champions of this legislation. She's going to be untouched by this. This won't actually impact her in any meaningful way. She's well off enough to go abroad to receive the care that she feels that she wants. And more power to her. If that's what she wants to do, and she can make a informed decision about her options, then I haven't got a personal argument against that. Autonomy is important, and making a decision that's not under coercion is important as well. I want to make a test example. I want to give you a test case. This happened in 1936, the year of the Three Kings. We had George V, Edward VIII, and George VI. We're going to focus on George V, who actually died on my birthday, the 20th of January, 1936. It was a terminal condition, a terminal disease. I think it was cancer, and he was circling the drain. All right. It was released in the 1980s, i.e., when everybody was no longer with us who could be held accountable for these actions. It was released from diaries that a decision was made to give him a fatal injection that eased his passing. And it was done for a reason of expediency. They wanted to announce his passing in the morning press. This is the king. This is the most important person in the country by title and position, and this decision was made to prematurely help him along his way so they could catch the morning headlines. If they could do this nearly 100 years ago for the monarch, I don't want the state to have any kind of power like that over any of us. Again, this is a hotly contested issue and your mileage may vary. It's just too open to abuse. This type of legislation can always go wrong. Look at Canada. You've got people that are blind. Okay, so they've lost the sight. And Canada is saying, well, that's adequate reason for helping them along the way because they don't longer want to be with us. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and give me a like and subscribe. I don't agree with this. I think it's going to get a lot worse. As I say, even with good intentions. Thank you for your time.